Hi YouTube, this is extremewirehead just talking a little bit about Overwatch and how it's been going so far. Hasn't been out for that long really, and we're already seeing quite a lot of what makes it special in a way. A lot of people seem to be able to follow the instructions of making a team comp that's reasonably balanced in a way, trying to build out the functions and make it work for the moment anyway. And one of the things that really caught me is recently a lot of people on YouTube have been posting fun and amazing ways to get around, lots of interesting jumping, and as I'm about to show, you can learn a lot of really neat tricks about the movement. There's just enough headroom to make some really fun plays happen, and that's one of the fun things that I think was well done in this game. They look like impossible jumps, crazy movements, but really I'm pretty sure it's designed in a way that these are quite possible and deliberate. I really think that if you want to play this game for quite a while, you might want to sit down, learn what each character is capable of, go to a game just to figure these things out, because it's quite interesting how the movement plays out, how you can change it up and confuse the enemy. One of the hardest heroes for me to kill right now is Lucio, just because of his mobility and his quick healing. It doesn't do a lot to burst damage, but it does enough to confuse an opponent, and that's probably what really gets me. So one of the things, of course, that people remember about playing in Overwatch nowadays is good use of cover and choke points. This is, if I believe correctly, Hollywood, and one of the fun things was just learning that gigantic arch is a huge symbol of, once you get past it, things get really confusing and total chaos ensues. So people try to stick to that one spot just to get things around. And it's tricky because you have to figure out for yourself when it's time to back out. I really don't know why he didn't die there, but you know, what can you do? Junkrat is one of those heroes that I think a lot of people like, because he is essentially the Overwatch version of Demo Man. There's a lot less skill to playing him, although I would say that his left click is a lot trickier to use, just because it doesn't explode on contact unless it's a direct hit, and it's a lot. It does have a lot of those problems. And interestingly, unless you do all of these fun tricks with the movement, it's quite difficult to figure out exactly how to catch an opponent unless you sit down and really learn their movements. It's one of those things that takes a while to get used to, and being unpredictable with your movements really saves your butt. It's one of those things that I think when you learn an FPS for the first time, if you were a real person walking around, you would not be moving like this. And that's honestly why the FPS works, just because of that amount of freedom, the freedom that is only possible because you're in a game. I have no idea how I missed all of that, but whatever. I have this bad habit of sticking to my left or right click and not using my skills early enough. That's an example of how to anticipate movement and see for yourself how you can take advantage of these sorts of things to really play with your aim. Because this is not a regular shooter, and the mere fact that it's not a regular shooter really comes into focus when you're talking about movement, because the funny movement really does change a lot of the way that you have to aim. You can't really expect people to act like humans. Some of these movements are crazy. Robots, crazy machinery, and you have to play with that in mind, otherwise you're gonna get yourself killed. Honestly, I don't think I did a really good job here. Maybe I could have done more, but I only died 3 times, so 2 times, but you know, did a good job, kept them away, and we are almost at the end here. Now, what really gets me is I think I should have seen some changes earlier into this fight. I start seeing a McCree, as I recall, and he never really gets past the Zarya, from what I can tell. That's kind of, you know, interesting. And the Reaper never really just walks straight at us, which is probably the wrong way to do it, but whatever. It's not a big deal, but sometimes you just have to play with the movement a bit. Here, I'm not entirely sure what I was thinking, but I could jump that high. McCree started staring at me when there's no more time and gets himself caught, ending the round. That's his own fault. Probably not the right thing to do, but whatever. Anyway, that's a half-decent Junkrat. Not a great play, but I think just surviving for long periods of time, making sure your movement keeps you in strange places, and being able to dish out some damage instead of dying constantly really does change things. This has been ExtremeWirehead, and have some more fun with Overwatch. Keep those moves unpredictable. Peace.